Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. So, today's video, I am gonna show you guys what I have on my Plex server. Um, so some of you might be saying, what is a Plex server? Um, Kinda think like sort of like Netflix, but it's kind of your own personal kind of dedicated Netflix. Um, to simply put it, I pretty much rip all of my media's DVDs and Blu-rays back there to my computer. And I personally have a dedicated, like, kind of a makeshift server box that I then transfer all them files to. Um, I do have a process, but I'm not going to go into the how to do that in this video. Um, if you would like me to go more in detail about that kind of thing, let me know if you want a video on that. But to my knowledge, there is plenty of tutorials there on YouTube to follow. But yeah, this is gonna be basically going over showing you what I got on my server so far. I've been building this thing for, oh gosh, at least the last 3 years or so. Um, I still have not got completely everything uh, onto the server, which is surprising. um, so everything on the server I don't have in my collection, but that is due to um, I asked permission of a friend and they let me put their stuff on my server so I can watch it whenever. So that's as far as that goes. But yeah, so mainly all I have left is the big long running anime that I have in my collection. And that is due to it's kind of annoying the way they formatted their Blu-ray and stuff. Because they put all the episodes in one video file, so then I have to edit them up to cut them up and then do that instead of just simply putting each episode as their own video file. But yeah, so with that, let's get into actually start digging through this, and I don't know, maybe I'll give like little mini reviews of my thoughts and stuff as we're looking through this stuff. So here we go. This is kind of the main page that shows all your, well, pretty much what you recently added. Um, if you actually click on, well, I don't have my cursor on screen, but if you actually click that arrow up there, you could actually go back to the very first thing. But I'll go more in depth with going strictly to like different things. But yeah, you can see the recent movies I added. Typically, what I do is whenever I happen to be around a half price books or something that has like a clearance movie section, I will look through their clearance movies and pick up a few movies for like $3 each if they catch my interest. Then we, of course, got recently added TV, which, as you can see, I'm slowly working through my anime. Bleach was a pretty big one to get all the way through. Um, I will say the next kind of thing I'm working on to get on my server is I I have all the Inuyasha stuff burnt onto my computer. I just need to like cut out the actual individual episodes from the huge video files. Then we of course got recently added music, which haven't really been buying a whole lot of music here recently. There is also, but yeah. So I haven't really dug into this first thing we're going to start looking at, but my friend put these on here because I think the reason. So we got audiobooks. Let's go by well, no, not by artists, by albums, I guess. That's gonna be like. So my friend put his audiobook collection on here because he figured out a way to being able to pull the files off using a program and get the file onto a computer and then essentially putting that file onto the Plex server. So I haven't really listened to these that much yet. So they're there if I ever find um, motivation to actually listen to some of these audiobooks. Like I heard these critical failures books are pretty fun to listen to because I guess they have a pretty good audio reading. Got Ready Player One, Ready Player Two. You also have like up here. My friend's a fan of like Dirk Gently. He also watched the show. Got a lot of Douglas Adams stuff. Then of course you got the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Da, 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 da. See if there's anything else I know of. Disrupting the Game, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Dune, and Dune Messiah. Stephen King's The Dark Tower. I'm personally not all the Harry Potter books. I personally do not read a whole lot, so my friends also told me about Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. So yeah, that is the audiobook collection. Now we're going to go straight up into which with audiobooks there's 79 books, so cool. Then of course we got the movies, which I have 657 well, some of these might be like certain collection categories that I put them in, but mostly it's over like it's like 600 and there's not that many collections, so it's probably still like 650 movies. Too Fast, Too Furious, The Sixth Day. I do like my old school Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of movies. That's a classic comedy. Eight heads in a duffel bag. 10,000 BC, just a random pickup. I haven't watched them. I'll try to only click on the things that I watched. 51st Date. A lot of these are in Blu-ray quality, but I know 51st Dates I haven't gotten on Blu-ray. That's a DVD I had. I think 1408 is also a DVD, but there's a little check mark up here. Um, that's that's what happens when it shows that you already watched something on here. I was watching 1408 just to check out to see what end credit scene, not end credit, but what ending scene it has, because apparently 1408 has different kind of variations on streaming services where they have different endings. So I wanted to see which ending it was. Let's see. Ace Ventura, of course. So I do have a few childhood, like, well, now my throat's all. I do have a few like childhood like movies on here, like The Adventures of Milo and Otis. My grandmother had a VHS tape of that, so I picked that up just to have it on here. Maybe I'll want to flick it on one day. Same with Airbud, had it as a child. Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney movies. Almost Heroes, that is a classic comedy that probably does not get talked about or react to enough. Assault on Precinct 13. Um, I watched that once, and that was when it was released, but I remember really liking it, so it's always kind of popped out in my mind as being enjoyable. So I'm slowly trying to dip into getting all the Marvel films, but I've never actually watched them all. I've just been on like a little scavenger hunt here and there, looking out to see if I can pick up anything from that. Babe is another childhood film. Be Cool. That's a DVD too that I'd like to get on Blu-ray if I ever come across it. See, recently I just watched Beetlejuice. That one I recently got on Blu-ray. Big Trouble. So not the greatest comedy, but I would say it's definitely underrated. A lot of people don't know about this film, mainly due to coming out at a really bad time with a specific subject. So, this was originally supposed to release at some point around 9/11, and that's when it was supposed to be shown in theaters, but 9/11 kind of happened, and this specific comedy, it has to do with the movie itself doesn't have to do anything uh, like directly that would should be offended by 9/11, but so in this movie they make a joke about this kind of giant this bomb that gets handed around to different characters in the movie. It looks like a giant garbage disposal. And it just so happened one of the places they go with this bomb is uh to an airport. Or actually they do get on a plane, but anyway, so this movie right here, Big Trouble, it had kind of a silent release, like about 6 months later than when they was originally planned to release it. So they quietly released it in theaters for probably just a few weeks without marketing it at all. So no one ever really saw this film. Bill and Ted, yeah, that's classic. Black Panther, I was glad to pick up the Blade movies all in like a collection kind of Blu-ray set. There's just so many to really pop out to just talk about, but you got the Saints. I'm sure there's a lot of them I'm not mentioning, but yeah. Bulletproof Monk was a fun one, definitely. Buried was interesting since most of the movie took. Actually, I think all the movie took place in one single area. Of course, got Casper and Casper: A Spirited Beginning. Castaway. You see, I have a little collection of the Riddick movies just to make it easier when watching through a series instead of trying to find the individual movie. City Slickers. Would like to get City Slickers too if I ever come across it. Con Air, Corpse Bride, Cube. That's a good movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Cursed. I haven't watched this since like its initial release. I currently right now have the DVD of it. I should I should get the Shout Factory release of it. But yeah. Really should probably track down like a Planet of the Apes collection set or something. Got the Deadpool movies, of course. Death Race 1 and 2. I never watched 3 onward, so I don't know if 3 or any of the later Death Race movies are really worth watching. Detroit Rock City, that's a fun comedy. Down Periscope. That's the great thing about movies is everyone has unique ties to certain movies. Like I watched Down Periscope when I was younger and I found it the funniest thing ever for whatever reason. But this is also a film that I don't hear a lot of YouTubers talk about. You got Dune 1984 and also Dune Part 1 from 2021. Electra, this actually I just recently bought off of eBay. A little bit more than what I wanted to pay for it, but so what happened was, well, I'm not gonna get into that because that could spoil something, but anyways, I got the movie. even though if it's not a great movie. Another End of Days, another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I'm probably is pronouncing his name wrong, but oh well. Escape Plan, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That was actually a pretty good movie. Got all the Fast and the Furious. I've only watched up to Tokyo Drift, so I haven't necessarily sat down to watch any of them from 4 onward, but I have all the way up to the Fate of the Furious. Don't have any of the spin off movies, the Hobbs and Shaw movie. Final Destination, at least the first two, anyways. I should probably go and pick up the third one as well, because that's also one that I just grew up watching, but yeah. Flight of the Navigator, that was a classic. There's quite a few, like, Disney movies that came on, like, the Disney Channel in the late 90s or early 2000s, I guess, that just never got DVD releases. Off the top of my head, I can think of is like Susie Q. It might not have been a great one, but it's definitely one I remember having on a recorded on a VHS tape. Fly Away Home. This is another movie I watched constantly as a kid. My grandmother had it, so it's one of the movies that just would get on repeat watch. I really should. I really kind of. I've had the urge to kind of check this out whenever I get time to see how it holds up as a children's film. From Dusk Till Dawn, the complete series. The Fugitive. Gosh, I don't know how long this video will be, but I'm just gonna go with the flow. We got Ghost Rider. This one I have on Blu-ray. Gone in 60 Seconds. That's actually a pretty good movie. Harold and Kumar. I I'm starting to notice I have an awful lot of like comedies. Henry Poole is here. I think that's more of a either I can't remember if it's more dark humor or it might be more like deadpan humor. Holes. That's actually a movie I'd like to get on Blu-ray, but old school Disney like movies, live action movies like Holes, you can only get them through Disney's movie club thing. So you're probably looking at about 20 something dollars a Blu-ray to get on eBay. Because I've also been looking into getting. One second. I've also been looking into picking up A Kid in King Arthur's Court as well, because that's another Disney live action movie from my childhood. Homeward Bound 1 and 2. Hostage. That was a surprise rental that I ended up enjoying. House on Haunted Hill. I really want to get the Blu-ray of this because I really enjoyed this movie for as far as being a horror movie. I only really watched the first Hunger Games movie. I haven't continued that story. Idiocracy, oh my gosh. That is a dumb movie in the best way possible. Instinct. So, funny about this, I've bought that movie several times, mainly due to the first two times I bought it. I could not rip the disc because it was for some reason damaged to the point of where I could not rip the video file off the disc. So after buying it for a third time, eventually I finally got it to one that was good enough where I could read the video file off the disc. um, I don't necessarily remember anything about the movie that much. I remember it being a good thriller, maybe drama kind of movie, but I can't remember the details of it. I just remember the name. And got the Iron Mans, which I never watched, ashamedly. James and the Giant Peach. A little bit of Jeff Dunham stand up. Joe Somebody. That's another movie no one talks about. It doesn't do anything to break any records or anything like that, but I think it's a nice wholesome kind of movie. John Wick. Kangaroo Jack. I don't know if that movie aged well, but for what it's worth, I enjoyed it when I was younger, so I can't say the same thing for Keanu since I recently got this movie because I don't know, concepts seem funny and it got a few chuckles, but most of all, I think I don't know. Maybe something about this movie just didn't. I don't want to say didn't sit right with me, but just I had no enthusiasm to rewatch it. Though that's probably the same for a lot of these movies. I just wanted to get them on here. Some of these movies, I got a lot of DVDs. They were from this yard sale that they were just given to me. It was the last day and they was just trying to get rid of everything, so they gave me all the DVDs I wanted that was left in their pile, so I just kind of grabbed a lot of things that were interesting to me, and that is why Leatherheads is here. I never actually watched it. Okay, this might be my first kind of unofficial just because this does not have a DVD release as far as I know in America. Um I don't even know if VHS is easy to get a hold of this, but um I think it's called The Secret Lensman. Um This goes kind of hand in hand with Vampire Hunter D for me, which that will be coming up here later, but um cuz I had this movie and Vampire Hunter D recorded on a VHS tape, or somebody did anyways. It might not be been me particularly, but we had a VHS tape with um Vampire Hunter D and Lensman recorded on it. It was it was recording one of the old school sci-fi channels anime movie segment kind of thing where they showed a couple movies. Lost in Space, the reboot that never went anywhere. The Mighty. I don't know if anyone knows of The Mighty, but the reason I know of that movie, it was only released on DVD too as well. But the reason why I know of that movie is in the seventh grade in English class, we would read from this magazine that um, it would put like scripts together, like a very, very basic script with a few scenes from the movie to, in general, kind of give you a look inside to that story or whatever. And this was one of them scripts. There, I also remember reading a script for Bicentennial Man. Um, in this English class, we would take turns. We would pick a part in the script, and then when that part came up, the whoever has whatever character would read their part as they came up in the script. So that is why I know of this movie, The Mighty. Mortal Kombat and Annihilation, the War sequel. Haven't watched the animated movie. The Mummy movies are good. They're a good show. Mystery Men. Then we got The Net, which also a nice thing with Plex. You get these little infos like the year it came out and stuff. Even have The Net 2.0 just because I knew it existed. Jet Li the One. One of my favorite Jet Li movies ever. One of my favorite martial arts movie ever. The Perfect Score was awesome. It's just too bad it was never released on Blu-ray. This is like Ocean's 11, but with high school students. So it was. Maybe I just watched it at the very perfect time, but that's an awesome movie. And now, as you've probably seen in the background, up there, somewhere, all the way over there now, but I've showed my Puppet Master Blu-ray collection. So yes, of course I have them all on here. I even have the Rambo Blu-ray collection as well that has all the Rambos, which I've never watched any of them Rambo movies, but they're there if I ever want to. Have the Resident Evil movies. I recently just got Vendetta. I actually watched that when it first came out, so it's really nice to come across that in a half price books discount movie section. Alright. Got some of the Rugrats movies. Really need to get Rush Hour 3 at some point, probably. Just to have them all. Ah, Scorched. I think that's an underrated comedy. Again, no one talks about this. I don't even think I could even find a reaction on YouTube to this movie. Um, it's not a high budget film, but the movie was very kind of simply made. It's essentially you have the bank owner, which is John Cleese, and these three are all planning to rob the same bank. These are all employees that work at this bank, and they're all individually in their own have their own plan to rob this bank for whatever motives they have. Like without like they're all trying to hide their plan to rob the bank from each other that way they don't get caught, and so it's just a funny concept. It's a good one. Scream movies, then you got See No Evil, get a little horror in there. Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2. I can't really speak for the first one. I don't think that aged as well in my opinion. But Short Circuit 2, I actually still find them have some funny moments in that one. This one I don't find that funny. The the Skulls, I remember that being a good movie. But what I remember being a good movie is it probably wasn't necessarily a good movie. Space Jam, I had to pick it up, but due to it being a film from my childhood, but I know it's not great. Species and Species 2. Um, I'm still in the process of maybe getting Species 2 on Blu-ray, but yeah. So it's a little bit more of a pricey Blu-ray to get. And they actually just brought it back and re-released it on 4K, so I may just get that version instead at some point. So I have a lot of Star Wars movies. These little ones with the 4K 77, 4K 83, and 4K 80, they're at the top. Um, them are high quality 4K um, renders, I guess, of the original releases of the Star Wars trilogy without the special edition stuff. Since now the only movies released are the special edition versions or the edited versions, and these are all just in the original format. But if you do fancy the special editions, I still have them. I officially own all of these on 4K. Honestly, all the Star Wars. Stuck on You, Sucker Punch. That's one I haven't watched in a while. 13 Ghost. That's a good horror movie too. It's gory, but it's fun. Tom and Huck is another Blu-ray I'd like to get, but again, it's hid behind Disney's movie club thing. Trimmers, Tron, Tron Legacy. I always was fascinated by the look of the Tron movie, like how they pictured virtual reality or a computer like world in the 80s. Like, this is what they saw the future as. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is always a fun watch. Unleashed. I really like that Jet Li movie too. That was a good one as well. Then, of course, we got Vampire Hunter D and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Probably, at least the first one, Vampire Hunter D, is probably one of the best old school anime films ever. Mm, without a paddle? Yeah, I'm trying to see what sticks out to me, but. And we got Zombieland and Zombieland Double Tap. Triple X as well, but I think this is a DVD version. I'd like to get the Blu-ray of that. But yeah, that is my actual movies. Let's go over to the TV shows. Alright, so we got Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight. Um, I'm a fan of the Dot Hack stuff. I'm a fan of the Dot Hack anime stuff. I'm a fan of the Dot Hack games. And I do not care about Sword Art Online at all. But yeah. This is not really. This is a spin off at best. We got the 100. I am in the middle of getting all of Adventure Time on here. I only got up to like 4 seasons at the moment. Yeah. Um, there's still like 3 or 4 more seasons that I have to get on here. Only got 2 seasons of American Horror Story. Um, about the first season on Blu-ray and the second season on DVD. It's a series I kind of want to get all of, but I heard the seasonal kind of stories just kind of gotten worse and worse as they went along. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So something I do with animes, especially the long run anime that has movie tie-ins. Um, we have Bleach. So this is under 1 season, just the first series of Bleach. So then we got season 2, which is currently what they've been releasing the past year or two. And then we got the Bleach movies in its own section. That is what I like to do. I only have 4 seasons of Bones, and that's just because I never continued to pick up more seasons yet of that. Chuck. That's a that's an awesome show if you ever want to watch a spy show. Dead Like Me says it has 3 seasons, but one of them is just purely the movie. Only have the first season of The Devil is a Part-Timer, then Dirk Gently's. Doom Patrol. It's so good, but so weird. I love it. I've watched Farscape a really long time ago, but I don't remember a lot from it. um, says there's 5 seasons, but that 5th season there was I have it as season 5, but in all reality, it is just the Peacekeeper Wars all in one episode as a TV movie or whatever. Because that's what essentially season 5 was, a TV movie. I'm missing the last season of Game of Thrones just because I haven't been able to come across it on the season 8 on Blu-ray in the wild yet. Greek. Dot hack sign. This story wise I recommend this anime. Um Though if you can't stand slow pace, slow burn kind of shows, then this will probably bore you to tears. And so since I've been getting the dot hack video games that came with the liminality episodes with each game, I've been getting them, collecting them on here as well. Got the Heroes and Heroes Reborn. iZombie. This one I cheated a little. I bought the first 3 seasons on Blu-ray officially, but they never released season 4 or 5 on any physical format. So essentially to get them seasons, I had to buy a bootleg of the complete series on Blu-ray in order to get them last 2 seasons. So just a heads up to any of the TV studios that release these shows on physical media, release your shows on physical media and I'll give you money. That's all I can say. The Last of Us. Log Horizon. That's a good that's a different alternative to like the dot hack kind of show. Then we of course got Lost, all 117 episodes. Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't have all the volumes of what they have released out there yet, but I have a good portion. Like, I have at least a few episodes from all original 10 seasons, plus I have the season 13 Blu-ray that I got. But yeah, so season 7 is the weakest season with only 2 episodes, but that season in general only has like 7 episodes total. But yeah, so I think it's coming along nicely as I get a volume here and there as I find them. Then we got Naruto, which we have all 5 seasons, which is funny enough. They only use the cover of each manga issue as the season cover. And then I implemented a little picture of the DVD release of a triple feature of all the movies, because this is the movie section. And then I'm slowly, as they release on Blu-ray, getting Naruto Shippuden, which already have all the movies on Blu-ray, and we have up to season 4. Well, we're in the middle of season 4 right now with the releases that we have so far. No Ordinary Family. When Heroes came out, superheroes were the big hype. They tried releasing another show called The Cape, but that got canceled after like one or two episodes, unfortunately for that show. Um, No Ordinary Family kind of fell in a similar trend where after the first season, it never got renewed, and it ended kind of on a cliffhanger. It's fun. It was a fun show. Noragami, one of my favorite animes. I wish we would get a third season, but I'm still left to just wish. Rising of a Shield hero. I enjoyed the first season of this. I watched through seasons 2 and 3. I'm gonna pick them up to add to this, but I don't know how I feel about them as compared to the first season, is all. Scrubs, Sliders, Smallville, Spartacus. I need to add all the supernatural stuff, but again, ran into annoying kind of issues with the formatting of the Blu-rays, so I put it on the back burner to come back to it later. Right now, I only have the first season. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Tiny Toon Adventures. Twisted Metal. So again, if Peacock ever releases this physically, I'll buy it. But because I really enjoyed this show, but I wanted it on here, so I did buy a bootleg of this. Actually, well, I'll go back up to it after I go through this, but we got Weeds, Westworld. So, we have the basically every logo for WWF, WWE, World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment. What do we have in here? So I've showed my box sets before, especially since I've gotten them autographed now. But I have the Royal Rumble box sets. I have the WrestleMania kinda actual box kinda set with all 22 WrestleManias. And I have a SummerSlam box set. Unfortunately, I couldn't, the first SummerSlam disc, I could not rip the video file off of it, so I have to find other means to get that on here, but I'm missing the first SummerSlam. Now, this was a own little personal project. I was heavily kinda into like watching extreme sports stuff and stuff like that. And so I kinda sniped all of these from YouTube just to keep them alive for if X Games ever, for whatever reason, takes every. If their channel dies tomorrow or something and all of that is lost, then I wanted to keep some of it alive. So I went back as far as I could on their YouTube channel to get stuff, and although I could find glimpses of stuff from like before 2017, I couldn't find like a I couldn't find a complete set of the um challenges, not challenges, but competitions. I couldn't find one that has a complete set of all the competitions, and so 2017 is about as far back as I could go. This is a little bit rough because even then, I think I was missing some stuff from 2017. But we got a few things from X Games. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Boys. Then we got a few things from Well, so yeah, it was just Minneapolis and Boys from that one. But 2018, this is probably shows the best. But see, I have clipped out all the competitions and stuff that I could find from like X Games Sydney. And I think I have these all in the official. Or wait, no. This one I did not redo the order of because Aspen would have been first. But yeah. Let me go to. I know this one will be in order, but so we got X Games Aspen stuff for 2019. Then we got X Games Shanghai, X Games Minneapolis, then X Games Norway. So then, of course, 2020 happened, and 2021, and so the only thing in these was released was the snow X Games stuff. So then in 2022 they finally got back to releasing skateboarding and stuff like that. I need to get some of the 2024 stuff, but I'm still letting them do their thing. But yeah, that's just more of a personal thing I'm building. Then we got the X-Files. And we got Yu-Gi-Oh! Seasons 1 through 5 and the movie Bonds Beyond Time. But yeah, and so here is another. I bought a bootleg of this because, again, it was never released on any kind of physical format other than a kind of a compilation best of VHS tapes, I think. Maybe a DVD. Celebrity Deathmatch. I have all of the original run of this due to be able to buy a bootleg. Alright, and then we are finally going to go over to the music. It's already running long, so I will try to fly by this relatively quickly. We have NSYNC, No Strings Attached. The good thing about music is you can kind of tell what it is, because album covers are so iconic. Like, everybody knows this is Alice in Chains' Dirt. Anyone that listens to Alanis Morissette knows this is a Jagged Little Pill cover. I just have a wide variety of music. A few greatest hits collections like Bare Naked Ladies and Blink 182 greatest hits. Even have a little bit of Blackstreet. Bloodhound Gang. Of course, I have me some Britney Spears, because that's kinda some CDs I had when I was younger, so. Even have a little bit of country, Dixie Chicks, because I grew up listening to country. Uh, My friend became a big fan of the Dead South. Um, it's kind of bluegrassy kind of music, so it's not bad. Definitely good to listen to. Got all the Destiny's Child. I like me some good R&B whenever I am able to find at least. It's hard for me to get into bands I don't know without knowing any songs by them, so it was kind of easy to get into Destiny's Child. Um, with DMX, I only knew the one song, Party Up, but I enjoyed this CD so much that I just knew I would probably enjoy all of his other stuff too, so I'd like to get more into the Donnas if I ever see another CD by there. I'm always going to recommend Dream as far as dance music goes. It definitely was one of my favorite CDs to listen to as a when I was younger. Have some Everclear, little bit of Fatboy Slim, Fastball. Um, I don't know how big these guys were, but they have a few bangers I enjoy off this album. So, um, I think I actually like them. um, I think I originally got this album because I thought I only knew one song by them, but after listening and realized, oh, I would hear a song come on and who sings this? And then go figure, it's these guys. They have like three or four songs that I know by them. Garbage. So I do have a Goo Goo Dolls greatest hits album plus their Dizzy Up the Girl album. Only because I found this at a Goodwill and I thought, I'll pick it up, I guess. Gorillas. Incubus. I do like a good Incubus sound every once in a while. Then, of course, I have a whole bunch of Insane Clown Posse stuff. Then we got some Jennifer Lopez stuff. Camelot's an interesting band. Not a typical band I listen to, so I pretty much got these albums purely based on the cover, just because they look cool. Have some video game music, the Dragon Quest soundtrack that I have. Have quite a bit of Corn. Need to get this CD that is the uncensored version. Have a bunch of Megadeth and a bunch of Metallica. I've slowly been picking up the discography of Missy Elliott. I think she flows real well. Um, I've also personally been trying to get all the Offspring albums I can possibly get my hands on, and I think I got mostly all of them, almost. I might be missing a newer one or something. Got a Pink Greatest Hits. So I do have a few Powerman 5000 albums. Um, these two, however, well, one, you're not going to get this album officially without, well, paying a pretty penny. Since it was never officially released. But yeah, so I do have the songs and stuff, just I don't have the official album for this. And same thing goes for this one too. There was a few songs that they had unique to this album that was not on any of their other albums, and it was I guess a tour EP, but yeah, I wanted the music from that too. Can't remember specifically what was on that. Uh, Riot Time and Last Night on Earth, I think, is what I wanted it for. What? So I don't know why I have double of this. Because I'm pretty sure that's just a glitch. So I have Rock and Roll Soldiers. This is their official album that was so many musicians to kill. Musicians. And then you got Rock and Roll Soldiers, the two EPs, which is basically on one album. Salt and Pepper. And of course, I have a few Shania Twain CDs because I enjoy it. Shinedown. They're pretty awesome as well. So, yeah. Sick Puppies Tripolar. I picked this up from Half Price Books, and I didn't notice till after I picked it up that it was a signed copy by the band, so that was pretty neat. So somebody traded in their signed copy to Half Price Books. I really enjoyed the TLC for R&B. One of my favorite bands, so I have all of their mainline albums other than the new one they recently released. We have a bunch of Tool stuff, more video game soundtracks, .hack GU Last Recode original soundtrack, which that's what came with my Nintendo Switch collection that I got for .hack GU Last Recode and Metroid Prime. Have some Weird Al, because of course we do. And so I have these 4 CDs. Most people would not know anything about these, but these 4 CDs are. There's a radio station in the state that I live that does parody music to other popular radio songs, and they've been doing it for so long, so why are these backwards though? That is not what that should be, but so the pictures are wrong. But anyways, they've been releasing these CDs over the years to raise money for charity. And so, yeah, I've thought about doing reactions to their parody albums, but I am unsure if I want to start reacting to music albums. Like, I don't mind if they take claim for monetization on the video or something, but I just don't want my videos to be blocked in other countries or anything like that. Otherwise, I would for sure react to some albums for you guys. Well, I guess it wouldn't be necessarily react, but me kind of sharing my thoughts as I listen to an album or something. Something along them lines. Anyways, let's pop me back out here, and yeah. So that is what is on my Plex server. Yeah, and it is something that is just gonna continue to grow. So we will see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys found this interesting, and have a great night.